Got it. We are live now. Good evening, namaskar. Welcome to the session. So, hope people, our first phase allotted are about to complete their CTET exam 31st. And now the $1 million question is with regard to what about first to 13 schedule. All right. Still that's till the evening I have seen that was the same status. And should there be any change, let's check live before we proceed. By the time others join live and we all can go together. All right. So let me check with the CTET website. Anyway, at least the good news, fortunate for us, is CTET paper is not leaked. Unfortunately, we hear about UGC NET NTA online exam somewhere. There were complaints and exam reschedule, cancel, such kind of things of only that particular session, that particular day, or that particular center. Like that, they are trying. We know we have advantages of technology, also the limitations. Some people take undue advantage or unexpected advantage, which creates, unfortunately, difficulties for the students. Except on 16-17, the technical difficulties, we won't have. Things are moving smooth, so we are happy. Every day some of our students are writing exam, and we are more happy when we hear that our sessions and the guidance by me and my team, Dr. Yakaiah and team, has immensely benefited them. So we are committed to support you and go ahead. All right. So 2022 is going to be a year of career preparedness. All right. So you declare things will happen. So from that point of view, for me, it's a year of career preparedness. So I am committed to inspire many to get ready for their career, and so also expecting similar cooperation and preparedness from your end. All right, let me just share this link in the Telegram, and from there we all together will go ahead. All right. By now, if some of you have joined the YouTube live, you can type in any queries, questions you wanted to address. If required before the session, briefly I'll address them, and accordingly I will be addressing. All right. The good news is you could see the new emblem of us, and with the quotation, inspire the teachers and influence the world. That's what I believe, and that's why I am working tirelessly towards achieving such goal. Truly, I believe that if you inspire the teachers, you can influence the world. There are n number of ways, but definitely one of the most influential to influence the world is to inspire the teachers. All right. Yes, we all believe that the teacher is the builder of the nation and the backbone, along with your farmer and soldier. Somebody giving food for body, somebody is giving security for body and property, and somebody coordinates both these physical and mental abilities of individuals to achieve their desired goals. That is the teacher. All right. So let me just visit your YouTube live relay. Are there any messages from your end? I will begin addressing that messages. All right. Okay, I could see audio, video is fine. Yes. And we are good to go now. All right. Just check once again. What's the message? All right. Okay. So there are no messages or queries. So therefore, we would continue. All right. Okay, chalo. Let's go ahead with CTET 2019 July paper key and discussion we are going. First day we did with the paper 1 CDP, and yesterday we have done paper 1 maths, content and pedagogy. All right. Now moving on to paper 2 psychology, that is CDP, we will do today, and depending on the time possibility we also will look into the maths and science. Okay. Yes. Hemsagar, good evening. So hope audio video is good. And Hemsagar, should you have any questions, queries? That's what I was saying. Just can type in the chat. I can address before I formally start with the paper 2 CDP. All right. Meanwhile, I'll just open the paper 2 CDP, ready to go. All right. Chalo. CTET paper 2 2019 July. 2019 July paper 2. Yes. Paper 2. Yes. All right, I'm ready to go with this, and let me share the paper and we all together will go ahead. All right. Yes. So where is it? Here it is. Screen share. Screen share this paper. Yes. On my screen, you could see this is paper 2, 2019 July, and W is the code, but otherwise child development and pedagogy. CDP is the session we are going to discuss the key and clarification of doubts, if any. All right. This last Sunday, day before day, I have shared, and I hope you have done. If any one of you haven't done, please do that first and then visit this video once again to cross check. For now, what you can do is you can go ahead with us to discuss the key. All right. Those of you who are online, should you have any doubt, you type in, or should you prepare to participate, do that by marking your answer. All right. CDP paper 2 2019 July. Question number 1. All right. Read the following description and identify the stage of moral reasoning of Kohlberg. Right action is defined by self-chosen ethical principles of conscience that are valid for all humanity regardless of law and social agreement. By the time you read this description, you will get this is post-conventional, right? But the description did not give in terms of that, in terms of the 6 stages, right? So let's see the option 1, the instrumental purpose orientation, the social contract orientation, the social order maintaining orientation, the universal ethical principle orientation. Under the post-convention, the 3rd level, 6th stage, the highest stage of moral development, that's the universal ethical principle orientation. So therefore, option number 4 to question number 1. 1 is for the right answer, right? Those of you online, you can try, just type in right or wrong, don't worry. That's a secondary thing. Making an effort, attempt is the primary and the key for success and progress. All right. Chalo. Question number 2. One of the major accomplishments of concrete operational stage is animistic thinking, ability to conserve, hypothetico-deductive reasoning, secondary circular reactions. So you don't know direct answer, at least you can remove this. 3rd is not the right answer because this is post the 4th and the last stage of 4th stage of cognitive development by Piaget, abstract thinking. All right. Yes. So therefore, once you rule out this, and then second circular reactions also, there is no stage, if you could recollect, or no exact characteristic. Animistic thinking is the first. So therefore, ability to conserve. Ability to conserve. Lack of conservation, it's previous. Sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. So sensory motor, pre-operational lack of ability to conserve, and then at concrete operational it will come, but otherwise we will be conservation, you remember with this pre-operational stage. Yes, but what happens during pre-operational? Lack of conservation ability, but that will be attained in the next stage called the concrete operational stage. So thus indirectly the analytical comprehension questions means is this is how they give. All right. Third question, constructivists such as Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky view learning as acquisition of skills, conditioning of responses, passive repetitive process of meaning making by active engagement. Simply in single reading will give you straight away. Of course, acquisition skills will be there, but not conditioning. This you can rule out. Second is not the right answer. Passive repetitive process is not the right answer. These two you can rule out. It is acquisition of skills versus process of meaning making by active engagement. So therefore, obviously, yes. Option number 4 is the right answer to question number 3. Chalo, let's move on from here. Third, 4, Hemsagar, congrats, you got all the 3 correct. Question number 4, selecting and presenting stories and clippings from newspaper that portray both men and women in non-traditional roles is an effective strategy to promote gender bias, promote gender constancy, encourage stereotypical gender roles, counter gender stereotypes. So this is to counter gender stereotypes. It's not encouraging, it's not promoting gender constancy, nor promote gender bias. What are you doing? Selecting and presenting stories and clippings from newspaper that portray both men and women in non-traditional roles is an effective strategy. If portray you don't understand, don't worry. Portray is nothing but to project, to show, portray a picture, portray a film, that kind of context. If you don't understand, that's okay, leave it. Now the concentration you need to put it is here. Non-traditional roles as effective strategy to non-traditional roles that don't promote gender bias, right? Gender bias promote traditional roles like women are like kitchen based work, men are outside works, are meant to do job, women tend to family, that kind of the traditional roles, but it is non-traditional roles. So it doesn't promote gender bias, doesn't promote gender constancy, encourage stereotypical gender roles. No, it doesn't. So therefore it is to counter gender stereotypes. So question number 4, answer number 4. All right. Yes. Fine. Then let's move on to question number 5. Which of the following play an important role in a child's socialization? Option 1, media. Option 2, school. 3, family. 4, neighborhood. We know more than one will play. Even options also shows like that. Either these 2 or 3 or 4. Chalo. Which of the following play an important role in a child's socialization? Media, yes. School, yes. Family, yes. Neighborhood, yes. So all the 4. So therefore, option number 4. Question number 5. Option number 4 is the right answer. All right. For the convenience of those who have just joined. All right. So we are discussing 2019 July CTET previous year question paper, paper 2, CDP, Child Development Pedagogy section. Now completed 5 questions and moving on to question number 6. As per Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence, how would the intelligence of a person with the following characteristics be characterized? What are the characteristics? Ability to detect and respond appropriately to the moods, temperaments, motivations, and intentions of others. So that is something to do interpersonal intelligence. If you are thorough with that, so I've given one exclusive session on this. So if you haven't, you can go and visit that. So if you know directly, this is the answer. Otherwise, naturalistic is nature, beauty. Okay. So those kind of things. So it is not first one. Intrapersonal, intra is within the oneself. So it is not second also. Therapeutic just created as an option, not really. Therapeutic intelligence was given by Howard Gardner in the types of intelligences, or the 8th one added naturalistic. So therefore it is interpersonal. All right. Yes. 6th 3 right answer, both Naresh and Hemsagar. Got it. Congrats. Question number 7. Which of the following should be the reasons for assessment of children? Option 1, to separate and label children into non-achievers, low achievers, average and high achievers. Which of the following should be the reasons for assessment of children? No, this is not. So now looking at this, you must be understanding the small Roman numbers. Option will be somewhere. In the first option itself, you got some hint at that your option should have, which of the following should be the reasons for assessment of children? One should not be there. So look at the option, this is gone, and this is there, this is there. So 2, 4, anyway, this is common 2, 4 for both, only a third one. Okay, third one. To find out what changes and progress in learning that takes place in the child over a period. This has to be there. Okay, so then 2, 3, 4. Let us see before we fix the answer. 2, to improve teaching learning process in the classroom. Yes. 3, yes. 4, to discuss the capabilities, potential strengths and challenges areas of the child with the parents. Yes. So therefore your answer is this. Now why I did like that? Yeah, this is how you can save time with the already question is this much length, but it's a familiar known question. So you just can't simply skip and go and say a second round or third round. That's not. After giving a brief reading, if you think it's not, you don't know, you can't do it right away, then only postpone. Otherwise, I was strongly recommending second, third phase, right? But it's clear. That's how you can do. But you don't have very thorough idea about assessment. Okay. And then, yes, fine. You can shift over. All right. Yes. So, 7th question, option 3 is the right answer. Let's move on to question number 8. Which of the following is central to the concept of progressive education? Option 1, textbook-centric learning. 2, belief in the capability and potential of every child. 3, standard instruction and assessment. 4, extrinsic motivation and uniform assessment parameters. Out of this, progressive education. If you have an idea of that, it's good. Otherwise, he's talking about good of education, right? Progressive is good, developing, modern, evolving, desirable. So therefore, out of all these 4, definitely, no, not standard instruction and assessment. Belief in the capability and potential of every child. This is one way based on concept understanding how you directly answer it. Or if you don't know, the other way around of answering it is, look at this, textbook centric limited, standard instruction and assessment limited, extrinsic motivation and uniform assessment pattern limited. These 3 are one category. This is the odd man out. All right. So therefore, this is the other way around how you can answer if you don't know or cross check your answer. So 8, option number 2 is the right answer. 8, 2. All right. Let's move. Question number 9. To understand individual differences in development, it is important. Option 1, to look at the inherited characteristics that give each person a special start in life. Okay. To look at the environmental factors that affect individuals. 3, to consider maturation of the body and the brain. 4, to consider both inherited characteristics as well as environmental factors and their interplay. Yes, quickly answer. Simple, actually very simple question. He made it as a paper 2 level standard, right? In its very basic form, this question is nothing but an equivalent question, synonymous question is, which of the following factors will influence growth and development? Heredity, environment, both the above, only heredity, only environment, that kind of option. Then what do you put? Everybody will put both heredity and environment. That's it. That's simple it is. See, to understand individual differences in the development, it is important to look at the only inherited is this, like only heredity. Look at the only environmental is this. Third, to consider maturation of the body, physical development is this. And therefore, 4th is to consider both inherited characteristics as well as environmental factors and their interplay, interaction of both heredity and undoubtedly 4th is the right answer. Congrats, Hemsagar, you got it. That's right. Question number 10. Which of the following is not a principle of development? Option 1, individuals develop at different rates. Yes, we have a principle, individual differences in rate of development. Development is relatively orderly. Of course, it is orderly. Development takes place gradually over a period of time. Of course it is. Exact course and nature of development is determined at the time of birth itself. No. Which means only hereditary factors influences growth and development, not a principle of development. So 10th option number 4, that's right. Option 4, this is not a principle of development. All right. Question number 11. Several researchers studies show that teachers have more overall interaction with boys than girls. What is the correct explanation for this? Boys have much more academic capabilities than girls? No. Boys need more attention than girls? No. This is an example of gender bias in teaching? Probable. Boys are easier to manage than girls in the classroom? No. So therefore, question number 11, option number 3. This is an example of gender bias. All right? Yes. Option number 3 to question number 11. That's the right answer. Chalo, let's move on to question number 12. The ability to come up with original and divergent solutions to a problem is a primary characteristic. If you have any idea straight away, you can go to option 3, creative children, because divergent solutions, original is one keyword, divergent is another keyword. These two keywords will give you this originality, one thing, divergent, brand mark of creativity. Okay, so therefore it is option number 3. 12, option number 3. Right, so let's move on to question number 13. Yes. What is question number 13? What instructional adoptions should a teacher make while working with students who are visually challenged? So for visually challenged, what are the instructional modifications, adaptations? Option 1, speak clearly and use a lot of touch and feel materials. Yes, desirable. Then use a variety of visual presentations. Okay. Orient herself so that the students can watch her closely. Focus on a variety of written tasks, especially worksheets. Now, obviously, first is good, second to some extent, but the best option thing teacher can do is option number 1. Speak clearly because they can hear. Visualism, there is a challenge, but auditory, they are good at. Rather, it's said they can listen with more focus because there is no visual distractions. That could be possible. Speak clearly and use a lot of touch and feel materials. Yes, if you are showing a triangle picture for the other children, instead that you bring a triangle which can be touched and feel. So tactile sense you are using. Right, so 13.1 is the right answer. M. Sagar, once again, congrats, you got it. Question number 14, cooperative learning and peer tutoring dash in an inclusive classroom should be actively promoted. Yes, both are desirable. Should be actively discouraged. No. Should be occasionally used. No. Should not be used. Not at all. So question number 14, option number 1. That's the right answer. Srilata also attempted 13. She too got right. Good. Chalo, let's go ahead with question number 15. Which of the following is most important in an inclusive classroom? Option 1, uniform instruction. 2, standardized testing. 3, promoting competitive learning. 4, individualized education plan. Nothing wrong. All the 4 are desirable, but most important. That's the reason in question itself, focus on this. In the question itself, he has said most important. So then which one is most important? Obviously, none other than what's called, yes, individualized education plan, IEP. 15, option number 4. Quickly mark your responses as fast as you can so that we'll move on to the next question. Question number 16. Which of the following is a correctly matched pair of learners and their primary characteristics? Hearing impaired learners cannot comprehend visual information. No. So that's the reason he's asking correctly matched. This is not a correct matched pair. So dyslexic learners lack reading and writing influency. Yes, possible. Creative learners hyperactive, slow in completing work. That's wrong, right? Yes. So attention deficit learners ADHD. High motivation can sustain attention for a long period of time. Exactly antonyms, opposite of what is the attention deficit learner. So only 2 is properly matched. Hemsagar got it. Congrats. Yes. So let's move on to question number 17. Which of the following does not result in meaningful facilitation of learning? Option 1, connecting new knowledge to pre-existing knowledge. Nothing wrong. Not result, that is asking. Promoting repetition and recall. Possible, probable, but hold on. Use of examples and non-examples, no problem at all. Encourage multiple ways of looking at a problem, no problem at all. So relatively not result in meaningful facilitation of learning. 17, option 2. Yes, that's the right answer. Okay, let's move on to 16 to 17 also 2. That's right, both right. Moving on to question number 18. Which of the following would not be consistent with a constructivist environment? Option 1, students are given frequent opportunities to engage in complex, meaningful, problem-based activities. Option 2, students work collaboratively and are given support to engage in task-oriented dialogue with each other. Option 3, teachers elicit students' ideas and experiences in relationship to key topics and planned teaching learning to elaborate or restructure their current knowledge. Option 4, teachers employ specific end of the term assessment strategies and give feedback on products rather than processes. Okay, good question with good enough length. So therefore, I recommend you go through it once again and quickly mark your answer before I explain. It deserves, right? Meanwhile, I'll have some water. Question number 18. Which of the following would not be consistent with a constructivist environment? All right. Anybody attempted? 18th. Okay. Students are given frequent opportunities to engage in a complex, meaningful, problem-based behavior. Considerable. Not be consistent, right? It is consistent. We need to find out not consistent. Students work collaboratively. This is also considerable. Teachers elicit students' ideas and experiences in relation to key topics and plan teaching, learning, elaborate is also consistent. Not consistent. Teachers employ specific end of the term assessment strategies and give feedback on products rather than process. No. In constructivist, both product and process important, rather more emphasis on the process rather than just mere product, end product. Okay, so therefore, option number 4. Question number 18, option number 4 is the right answer. Moving on to the next question, 19. A teacher should encourage students to set dash rather than dash. Set learning goals rather than performance goals, or performance goals rather than learning goals. Failure avoiding goals rather than mark seeking goals. Mark seeking goals rather than failure avoiding goals. So what's the right answer? We need to set learning goals. We should encourage the students to set learning goals rather than performance goals. Unfortunately, our literal practices are 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100% are top percentile, 99 percentile, 100 percentile. All right. That's what we call performance goal. Rather than what is learning goals? Yes, you are going to learn new things. You are going to learn mastery level learning. You are going to gain metacognition level of understanding. You are going to learn it's in so skillfully, effectively, mastery learning, perfect, that you will be able to use it apply it, utilize it, and come out with some solutions, and so on and so forth. All right, that's a learning goal. So desirable is this. Of course, not a lesser, but than performance goals, learning goals are to be given priority. Yes, option 1 is the right answer. Question number 20. Which of the following are examples of effective learning strategies? Anyway, here he has given this many. Now, after reading this many options will be a time waste. So what right away we use some shortcuts so that you can save some time on this question. Yes. Option 1, setting goals and timetables. Which of the following are examples of effective learning strategies? Yes, okay. Making organizational charts and concept maps. Yes, definitely. Thinking of examples and non-examples. Okay. Explaining to a peer. Yes, possible. Self-questioning also possible. So, but how many? Yes, you have got all the 5 also. All the 5 is also acceptable. So therefore, there is no problem. Option number 4, the better answer. All right. So question number 20, option number 4 is the right answer. 21. Which of these is an example of extrinsic motivation? You know, intrinsic, extrinsic something comes from outside. Yes, outside factors. So therefore, I enjoy doing my homework because it is so much fun. I enjoy, student himself, the learner is enjoying. Why? It is because of so much fun to him. I learn so much when I do my homework. Okay. Doing homework makes me understand my concepts better. No problem. All these are intrinsic, but the question talks about extrinsic, right? Yes. So I complete my homework because the teacher gives us marks for each assignment. So the marks, the teacher is motivating for doing homework rather than the previous context. So it is extrinsic. So 21 is also option number 4. Yes, Hemsagar got it correct. Congrats. Question number 22. In a primary classroom, a teacher should, option 1, give only examples, give only non-examples, give both examples and non-examples, not give any examples and non-examples. This you can rule out. 4th is ruled out. Why only examples? 1, 2 you rule out. Then obviously a better option will be 3. 22, 3 is the right answer. Now here you may get a question. What is this non-examples? Counter examples. Examples. All right. All metals are solid in form normally. But there is one counter example, for example, mercury. Yes, it is true, but there is one counter example, non-example. All right. Yes. Which of the following strategies would promote meaning making in children? Okay, let me magnify it by increasing the size a bit more so that you can see it more clearly, right? Particularly those who are viewing on mobiles will have a challenge. So I love to do this. Yes, Srilata and Hemsagar both have attempted 22nd, option 3, the right answer. Yes. Now moving on to 23rd. Which of the following strategies would promote meaning making in children? Exploration and discussion. Yes. Transmission of information, no. Using punitive measures, the punishments, no. Uniform and standardized testing, instead the better option goes to 1. Yes, 23, option 1 is the right answer. Question number 24. Children's errors and misconceptions is a repeated question, most commonly being asked. Are a significant step in the teaching learning process? Yes. Are a hindrance and obstacle to the teaching learning process? No. So therefore, it is a considerable so far. Should be ignored in the teaching learning process? No. Signify that children's capabilities are far inferior than that of adults? No. So option 1. 24, 1. That's the right answer. 25. All right. Question number 25. All right. So we have 6 more to complete. Let's complete this before we move on to the next session. All right. Question number 25. In the constructivist frame, child is viewed as miniature adult, who is less than adult in all aspects such as size, cognition, emotions. 2. Tabula rasa, or a blank slate whose life is shaped entirely by the experience. 3. A passive being who can be shaped and modeled into any form. There is no question of constructivist believing in passive, right? Active participant is a partner in the process of construction of knowledge. Rather, he himself constructs. So there is no question. Probably question being asked is constructivist frame child viewed as. So it's not the answer. That much you can say. A problem solver and a scientific investigator. Probable. 4th is probable. First, miniature adult less than, no, this is also not probable. Tabula rasa also ruled out. Passive is also ruled out. The only leftover and acceptable of the 4 options from constructivist perspective is option 4. So question number 25, option number 4 is the right answer. Chalo, let's move on to question number 26. A teacher's role while using cooperative learning in her class is to be a silent spectator. Teacher cannot be a silent spectator in any method or strategy. So is ruled out and let children do what they want. Is to leave the class and let children work on their own. No, this is not the effective strategy at least. Is to be supportive and monitor each group. Yes, acceptable. Is to support the group which has the bright and talented children. No, that's again partiality. So the best option goes to option number 3. Yes, question number 26, option number 3, the right answer. Okay, chalo, let's move on to question number 27. Which of the following statements denotes the relationship between development and learning correctly? Correct one we need to identify. Development and learning are not related. No. Then, question number 2, learning takes place irrespective of development. Question number 3, option number 3, rate of learning far exceeds the rate of development. Option 4, development and learning are interrelated and interdependent. Obviously, yes. A minimum level of development is the prerequisite of learning. Like this, we have discussed when we have saw this particular question. Okay. Yes. So, chalo, question number 27, option number 4, the right answer. Let's move on to question number 28. According to Piaget, specific psychological structures, organized ways of making sense of experience are called mental tools, schemas, images, mental maps. So, which one is 28? Piaget, specific psychological structures, organized ways of making sense of experience are called mental tools, schemas, images, mental maps. Have you heard about schemas? Repeated last question. Yes, these are the schemas. Okay. Yes. So 28, option 2. So moving on, 20. Yes, 28, 29. With an appropriate question or suggestion, the child's understanding can be extended far beyond the point which she could have reached alone. The construct does the above statement highlight ZPD. Have you heard about this? Zone of proximal development, the gap between which child can do independently, which child cannot do, but the area between these two, child can progress with the support of adults. That's called scaffolding. That person or the machine is known as MK2 monals, so that it is ZPD, zone of proximal development. 29.1. Okay, if any of you haven't visited, once again visit my YouTube channel and you can go through this. I have done the session on one on Piaget, one on Kohlberg, and the third session on Vygotsky. These 3 sessions and combining 1 or 2 MCQ sessions. If you go through the 4 videos, definitely 4 to 6 questions you will be able to answer. 1 video, 1 plus question. All right. Yes. 29, option 1. Hemsagar got it right. Congrats. Let's move on. The last question of this session. 30. According to Vygotsky, basic mental capacities are transformed into higher cognitive processes primarily through option 1, rewards and punishment, 2, social interaction, 3, stimulus response association, and 4, adaptation and organization. All right. So according to Lev Vygotsky, basic mental capacities are transformed into higher cognitive process primarily through reward and punishment. Did Vygotsky constructivist focuses on this? No. Social interaction, yes. Otherwise, this is known as social constructivist theory, socio-cultural constructivism. Stimulus response, much of your conditioning theories. Adaptation and organization, then is his focus. 30, option 30, right answer 2. Yes, congrats, both Hemsagar and Srilata did a good job. Keep it up. So with this, we come to an end, and let me stop sharing. And okay, so just hold on, and or else we will close this. The next session we have EVS. If Madam wants to take live, we will start live back. Otherwise, a recorded version will be there. Even that also we will relay live. And after that, depending on the time, I'll come back for maths and science paper 2 key and discussion. Otherwise, tomorrow it will be continued. Either way, either a recorded or a live session, you will get a fresh link. So with this, thanking you for joining us and actually participating and viewing this video. And for more than 100+ videos related to made exclusively based on your CTET syllabus of season 2021, you're most welcome to view the other videos in this channel, Inspiring Teachers, right? With a quote, inspire teachers and influence the world, by Dr. Yakaiah. Taking leave of you, Dr. Yakaiah, teacher educator by profession, and inspiring teachers and researchers is my passion.